The mission's bringing us back to the moon.
Check.
Yes.
We're going back to the moon.
I didn't know I've been in the first place.
NASA.
All right. NASA's going back.
Ah, well, we've actually never been. Well, we've actually never been to the moon. Have you, what is that called? Have you ever heard of the firmament? Have you ever heard of the firmament? It's this thick air shield. Some would call it the atmosphere, but it's actually so thick that you're unable to travel through it. We're basically stuck on Earth.
Back to the moon. Yes. Let's back up a little.
All right.
Okay. The first and only other time we went to the moon was the Apollo program.
Correct.
As you know, we went to the moon 9 times.
We faked it 9 times. Not even.
Yo, I always think about the guy that went on, what was the first Apollo mission where they went to the moon? Apollo 7, Apollo 11, I don't really know. The first one where they went to the moon and actually landed on the moon, one of them had to stay back. And that's, well, not stay back. He was like the pilot of the ship. Yeah, I think it was 11. It was 7 or 11. 7, 11. Anyways, one of them had to stay back because, like, you can't have everybody land, and that sucks. You're like, oh, have fun. And they're all just jumping around on zero gravity in their little spaceships or little spacesuits, and you're just, like, sitting up there, sad as hell. Like that one guy from Interstellar. You ever see that movie? That one dude from Interstellar that has to stay on the ship while everybody else goes to like that one planet that's rotating really fast, so time dilation's different, which we're going to watch a video about later. And they come back and he's like been waiting for them for like 30 years. He's like, oh, nice of you to come back. For them, it's been like 5 minutes.
In my marriage has that much faking taken place.
Apollo 8.
Okay.
Went to the moon, orbited, and came back.
Okay.
Took that famous picture of Earthrise.
I love this photo. Oh my God. This was my computer background for some time.
Over the landscape.
That's right.
Apollo 10.
Okay.
Went to the moon, orbited the moon, deployed the lander, and then came back up.
Right.
So that's a...
Well, is it Artemis 2 also? Like, these are actual moon missions, but Artemis 2, the one that's going to the moon right now at the time of this, stream. That one's not really a moon mission. Isn't it testing the new rocket and spaceship model for a flight elsewhere, like to Mars? Like, this isn't, we're not really giving a fuck about the moon right now. This is just like a means of dialing in the new spaceship technology / gravity slingshot method to reduce fuel, need on a ship.
Apollo 10.
Right.
Apollo 11, everyone remembers. Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, walk on the moon.
Right.
And they leave Michael Collins up in the...
Yeah, being that guy. Holy fuck, bro. Oh my God, sitting there just watching. The FOMO. I don't think anybody's had bigger FOMO. I mean, he is a professional, but still. Like he knew that it wasn't like in the moment they drew straws and he was the one that had to stay up. Like, before they even left Earth, he knew.
Capsule.
Just left him up
The cuck chair, actually.
there. Didn't even give him the opportunity to go down later and check it out for himself.
It's in the plan. These are professionals.
That is rough. You gonna make me the chauffeur?
Go to the moon.
Wait, was he the pilot? Who was Michael Collins? Like, why did he stay? Yeah, he was the pilot, so that's why he had to stay back. What if he just dipped on them?
Make me the
come back,
moon
don't even
chauffeur.
land.
I didn't even get
The moon chauffeur.
I'm the moon chauffeur.
Then there's Apollo 12, Apollo 13, the ill-fated one.
Right.
Old Hollywood movie.
Yes.
On that, directed by Ron Howard. And
What? Sorry, I'm not making a joke. I'm actually curious. Which was the one that blew up? Because one of them, they died.
Apollo 13, the ill-fated one.
Oh,
Old Hollywood
sorry, I gotta pay attention to the fucking video.
movie.
Yes.
On that, directed by Ron Howard. And then Apollo 14, 15, 16, and 17. All right. Why did we go? We're Americans. We're explorers. It's in our DNA, is what we are told.
Right.
That's not
propaganda.
why we went. That's not why we went.
No, why do we go?
You could want to go for those reasons, but that's not what makes everybody write a check.
Yeah, exactly.
Who writes the checks? Congress writes the checks.
Right.
You got to spook Congress somehow into writing the check. So Kennedy...
Do we know how much it costs to do this Artemis 2 mission? I'm Googling. Artemis 2 mission is estimated to have cost around $4 billion. Okay, I'm going to have an outlandish take here. That's not that much. To go to the moon? Okay, yeah, $4 billion is a lot of money. But, like, Elon Musk could fund 50 of those. like brother could sell all his stake, cash out.
Says...
We go to the moon and do this, that, and the other thing.
It's $90 billion for the entire mission, $4 billion per launch. What? You're saying for all the equipment and gear, but aren't they recovering some of that? Like the spaceships, you could reuse that. Like it's not just gone. How much is the entire Artemis mission? 93 billion. The Artemis program, 93 billion through 2025. Massive undertaking, heavy lift rockets, infrastructure, 100 billion total for the full campaign. Okay, so it's $100 billion.
Because it is hard.
So Yuri Gagarin comes out of orbit.
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
Oh, we're back on why we went to the moon for the first place. This is what I was arguing. I knew this already. I was arguing with I know I was getting full rage baited, but I can't tell with like Lacey and those guys on whether or not they're being serious. When I was in a call with fucking 8 streamers and they're going, oh, the moon landing's fake. Why would we even go there? I'm like, you only go back for war or economic reasons. And they're like, oh, really? Yeah.
First man in space.
Yeah.
To orbit the Earth.
Right.
6 weeks later, we have a joint session of Congress. President Kennedy says stirring words, put a man on the moon, return him safely to Earth before the decade is out. Go earlier a couple of paragraphs in that same speech. If the events of recent weeks couldn't even utter the man's name.
Right.
The events of recent weeks are any indication of the impact of this adventure on the minds of men everywhere, then we need to show the world the path of freedom over the path of tyranny.
Voldemort is back. Dumbledore, I tell you.
Is the U.S. flag that was put into the ground in the Apollo 11 mission still there?
Voldemort is back.
The enemy is established.
Right.
The godless enemy is established.
Right.
The checks were written.
And yeah, well, there you go.
And they'd already beaten us with the first animal in space, Laika. They already beat us at all of that. We needed something to beat that.
Yeah, weren't we sending like monkeys in space for some amount of time or some shit? I know there was like dogs and other shit, but weren't we sending like chimps up there to see like if they would die? Because it was like, well, we don't know. You know, nobody's been up there before.
So we said, let's go to the moon.
That was China? Well, I'm saying we meaning humans, not we meaning the U.S. I'm saying like humans were sending animals up there to see if they died because we didn't know what would happen.
Land on the moon.
And walk around. Even though they beat us in all these other categories.
Right.
And we did. So what happens? We get to the moon, look over our shoulder, no Ruskies. We're done here. So did we really go to explore?
No.
Or did we go to just beat the Russians?
Right.
We have not been back to the moon in 50 years. So you know how many scientists went to the moon?
0?
One. Do you know which mission?
No.
The last mission.
17.
So we had the astronauts do science experiments. It's not that no science happened.
No.
But don't fool yourself into thinking this was all for exploration.
Right.
It was muscle flexing on the geopolitical sphere during a Cold War when we're fighting a hot war in Southeast Asia against that enemy. We don't go back to the moon. Not in the 70s, not in the 80s, not in the 90s. Oh, wait a minute, in the 20-teens. Let's go back to the moon. What a great idea. We're long overdue. It's been half a century.
Yeah. I wonder how the moon's doing.
I think it lined up ironically around the war, like with Iran. Okay. I don't think, like, obviously this mission was in, you know, the books for a long time. I don't think that there was a war-based reason this time to go back or like some sort of flexing of muscles. I think this literally is like, hey, we're going to test shit out so we could go to Mars. But like, I don't know. You think they'll make it back? Yeah.
We have these thoughts.
I mean, knock on wood, but yeah, I think they know what they're doing now. Like, you don't understand the amount of fact checking they do at NASA in like modern day, like how many tests they're running to make sure that these people don't die and also get the stuff back.
Let's part the curtains. What else happened in the 20-teens? China says they want to put taikonauts.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Oh my God, what? In 2017, we signed that because China said they wanted to go to the moon? Oh my God. Bro, so randomly we're like, oh no, we're just going to go back. You know, actually, I kind of miss the moon.
It's on the moon.
Oh.
Taikonaut. Their version of a cosmonaut, our version of an astronaut.
Right.
Oh my gosh. China's going to the moon. If there's ever a reason for Congress to...
You see the toilet wasn't working, they had to fix it? Yeah, I saw a video about that. Bro, how bad that would be. They wouldn't have died if their toilet was full broken, but they would have had to be like shitting in like some bag. There would have to be some sort of way they'd be able to fix that.
Reinvigorate the funding to go back to the moon. It was that.
It's good now, but like, ugh. Do the toilets in NASA, or not in NASA, do the toilets in the spaceship shoot out the poop into space like an airplane, like releasing stuff? Or do you think they keep the shit on board the whole 7 days? I feel like they could have a hatch that would be like, woof. That'd be awesome to see my turd full freeze just floating through space.
Can't have
So
China.
we announced program to return to the moon.
We go to the moon. Not because it's easy, but because it's...
Just straight diarrhea. Oh, this astronaut food's not sitting so well. I'm just straight shit in chunks. They just release it out. It all freezes, just smacks the window of the fucking spaceship.
I don't know. Is there money there?
And so this happens under the Trump administration.
Yeah.
Okay. So Trump says, let's go back to the moon.
Yeah.
And the program to return to the moon has one of the best names ever.
Space Force?
No.
No, what is it?
Artemis.
Oh my God, I forgot about Space Force.
Artemis.
Artemis.
Yes.
So who is Artemis in Greek mythology? Artemis is the twin sister of Apollo.
Look at that.
You can't get more woke than that.
That's, which is why we're changing the name to get rid of this DEI Artemis chick.
Each one, just as the
Sorry.
original Apollo mission, each mission was a little more ambitious than the next.
Okay.
Right? As you heard, Apollo 10, they went halfway down, came back up.
I love the incremental approach.
It's incremental.
I love
and
it.
the press can talk about each increment because
Exactly.
each increment is more than what happened before.
Yeah, no.
Each thing is a progress wheel.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, remember the Saturn V?
Yeah.
I got it right here.
That's
I
it.
got it right here.
It's all rocket.
It's all rocket.
It's just all
It's all
rocket.
rocket. Right on up to here, and then right up to here, and then you get the astronauts.
Right.
There's three of them. We had Mercury had one.
Bro, like, I refuse to believe that. Dude, if you look at the inside of the Artemis rocket, it's the size of, like, a bus. Not even. Like, half of a bus is where they live. So, wait, just thought of a crazy fucking question. Not in this scenario. Do the astronauts in the International Space Station goon? Because they're up there for, like, years. Surely. You know, they got enough space up there. They got, like, rooms and shit be floating around.
The
Oh,
astronauts.
God.
Right.
There's three of them. We had Mercury had.
Definitely happened. Bro, you know how I know it's happened is because one of those fucking astronauts in their head went, I'm going to be the first. Follow-up question. Do you think that there's any sort of, not the Mile High Club, but the space club? There's got to be two astronauts that have been in the International Space Station that have gone, you know, surely.
One astronaut.
Look it up. I feel like that would be something they wouldn't say. Have any, I'm really going to Google this. Have any astronauts had sex in space? No verified records. NASA maintains that it knows of no intercourse in space. Yeah, no shit, bro. What are you going to tell them? Oh my God. Too difficult and too dangerous to test. What is this, fucking Fear Factor? Oh God, 0 G's. How are we going to do this? Too difficult to test. Like it's some sort of experiment. As noted in a Reddit post, Newton's third law makes it difficult to maintain contact without specialized techniques, such as Velcro or being held by another person. I assumed they'd just cocoon each other and then jackrabbit it. That in my head, I assumed they'd just be kind of floating around the space station, just ripping it. Like, that's probably how it would go.
Gemini, how many did they have?
Maybe 2.
Yeah. Apollo 3, all increment up to landing on the moon. So they're up here in this little capsule right here. Little
exactly.
capsule. And this is
Okay, no, back to what I was saying. Why, dude, this whole rocket, I know they're so worried about weight. Like, weight is such a big thing, and it's like they have to literally factor in, like, every small thing they bring on the ship. You're telling me they can't just make the rocket a little bit bigger? So then the fucking capsule could be a little larger?
Absolutely.
And this is the Cape Tower. If something bad happens, this launches and carries the capsule and its residents.
That was the problem with the other, oh my God. Wait, this is why this rocket method's a lot safer, because what was the other spaceship method they had where it was like an airplane? The space shuttle. The space shuttle was like the dumbest invention, because if something goes wrong on the space shuttle, you're just strapped to fucking explosive fuel. Like, if, say this goes wrong and you're at the top, just shoot right off, you're good. Like, you just die. on this.
Bad happens, this launches and carries the capsule and its residents away from
It glides down to safety. I'm saying it in a moment where, like, you need to get the fuck off that rocket.
this bomb that they're sitting on top of. Okay, so we got one of those as well, but it's specially designed for the future. It's called the Space Launch System, SLS. So it has not only a big old giant rocket, it's got what we're familiar with now with the space shuttle.
Yo, I can't imagine being one of the astronauts at the tip of that rocket. You're already like 400 feet in the air, and you just got fucking 80 tons of fuel behind you, and you're just like, like, what is the G-force on that? They probably have to train for that shit.
It's got 2 solid rocket boosters on the side. The value of that is you use up their fuel, and when they're done, you just drop them away.
There you go.
You don't want to carry
empty tanks.
Empty tanks. And then the main rocket will also have multiple stages as well. This was the brainchild of Werner von Braun. Multi-stage rockets.
Right.
Without him, we'd all have
Oh, yeah, Werner von Braun. Yeah, I know the name.
these bullet-shaped V2-looking rockets that are not multi-stage. It was his idea to do this. You drop away things you don't need anymore, and that way the remaining thrust is pushing on a lower mass object.
Right.
So the SLS, with the capsule included, is about the same size as the Saturn V. But here's a good way to think about how big it is. Let's compare it to the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, dude. It's as big as the Statue of Liberty. I would have thought that it was large. It's as big as the Statue of Liberty. That's how big the fucking rocket is. I will say I did go to that one museum in Florida where they still have like one of the rockets, and you walk for like 3 minutes just under the rocket. Like it's a long rocket, but I'm seeing it on the ceiling, so you don't really recognize it.
Except that's not the right comparison. Let's make the Statue of Liberty its actual size relative to the
Okay, can you put it next to like the Washington Monument? I feel like that would be a better comparison for me.
SLS. So it's about the same size as the Saturn V.
Okay.
But it has the help from these.
How tall is the rocket that... I gotta Google this. How tall is the Statue of Liberty? 305 feet. How tall is the rocket on Artemis 2? It says 322 feet. No way. That's got to be wrong. Oh, it's around the height. Oh, okay. No, see, now we're skewing it a little bit. It's the height of the Statue of Liberty with the big rock part at the bottom. Look. So the Statue of Liberty, if you're like standing at the foot of the statue, is a lot smaller. But if you add like the big, rock part that it's sitting on, that's still huge. 322 feet.
Solid rocket boosters on the side.
Okay.
All right. Point is, the capsule, which is containing and protecting the life forms, there are things like the original capsule was not expressly designed to protect you from radiation.
Right.
It might incidentally do so because it's made of metal and whatever, but this is radiation insulated. It has other life support systems to protect the occupants, as you would want.
Okay.
The original Apollo capsule could seat 3 astronauts. The Lockheed Martin one can seat 4. Okay, we add another one to the mix.
Okay.
And of course, it is also...
You add one more, you could get a League of Legends LAN.
So once again connected to a rocket tower that will, if something goes wrong, in an instant...
Bro, that'd be so lit. Imagine being on the spaceship, like, queuing. Bro, your ping would be crazy.
It'll rapidly take the capsule away from this rocket bomb that's detonating in ways that you don't want.
Yeah.
Wait, do they still have that live stream? Sorry, I keep pausing. Do they still have that live stream up right now? We might be able to see where they're at. They usually have, like, live footage. Oh, no, I don't want to hear this fucking space conference right now. I want to see the view from... What the hell is this?
Okay, we will take the time to get this cabin looking good, and I think you can come back on board in the HHP camera.
I don't even know what I'm looking at. Is that the moon?
And Christina,
What am I looking at?
thank you. We'll take you up on it, and we'll be coming on board.
2 FPS, obviously fake. I love when people say that. Why is the quality so bad? Oh, I don't know. Probably because we're far as fuck.
Yes, exactly. So it's cool. It's good. It's nice to have a little ejector button.
Exactly. In a way, the most important part of the whole rocket.
Definitely.
AI.
Because you in it.
I was going to say, that's where the people are.
That's where the people are. So Artemis 1 flew the entire kit and the caboodle to the moon, and it landed in the ocean just.
What the hell is this flight pattern? Why did they do that?
And it landed in the ocean just like the old days.
Yeah.
With
Splashdown.
Splashdown with 3 parachutes, and there was the capsule, and landed right near there was an aircraft carrier, just one of the ships that would collect it out of the water, and it was great, uncrewed, just to test the system. Next, Artemis 2.
You land in Daytona, Florida on spring break. You pop the fucking top of the spaceship out. Everybody
Goes with crew to the moon, but doesn't land, and then comes back.
Okay.
Okay? That's a very Apollo 80 of them.
Right.
8E. To go to the moon and then come back. That's the first time we've sent astronauts off of the Earth to a destination since 1972, since Apollo 17.
Damn.
54 years.
I'm going to say that's tragic.
What year was 54 years before we landed on the moon? It was 1914. So you see how far we went from 1914 to 1969.
That's terrible.
That's how I think about where we should be in space.
That's terrible.
Okay, so Artemis 4, scheduled for the future, will take the crew and they will land on the moon targeting the South Pole.
Okay.
The South Pole, we have crater rims where the sun, which never gets very high in the sky, that's
well, lizard people live on the dark side of the moon, so this is going to be a dangerous mission. Do they have any weapons?
happens when the sun is in the sky when you're near the poles.
Right.
And they're craters that are so deep with rims so high, the sun never reaches the bottom of the thing. So when comets hit and they deposit water molecules on the surface, if it's where the sun hits, it
just
evaporates. If it goes in the middle of the crater,
It's there.
it's a cold trap
And we got it for water.
forever. And so you can, quote, mine those molecules out for water. You can turn it into rocket fuel, separating the hydrogen and
I'm
oxygen.
starting to see the motivation here. China is going to go. We like, that water's ours, China.
So the South Pole is the
But what are they looking to find? Like remnants of other life forms in those asteroids, or like certain things that we haven't found before? Like in these water molecules? It's not oil. Oil. Drill. We're going to bring it back. Fuel. Yeah, that's what we're going to get out of the fucking moon. Yeah, how are you going to get that shit back?
object of affection these days.
Yeah.
Not only China has sent rovers there, Russia has sent a rover. One of them crashed, I think. We've sent a spacecraft to the South Pole. So that's where everybody's sort of gathering right now. And if it's going to be a turf war, it's going to be there. And we didn't want to be left out. There it is.
There it is. Once again, it comes down to the fact that we don't want to get beat.
We have a real or perceived threat from an adversary that we are reacting to. But that's not going to be in the top cover.
What does our treaty say about, like, water is now a commodity on the moon? So what does our treaty
There's
say?
the Outer Space Treaty,
Yeah.
which was modified, updated to become the Artemis Treaty.
Oh,
It's signed by 50, 60 countries.
okay.
Not China, not Russia.
Oh.
They came up with their own treaty that they signed among themselves. Okay, so they got a treaty. We got a treaty. The treaty means you help each other in
Right.
need. You don't hide secrets.
What a perfect opportunity to showcase cooperation
To
amongst
reinvent
nations.
ourselves as a cooperative.
It really does blow that, like, if all the world superpowers actually got along and shared info with each other, we as a species would advance at such a more rapid rate than we do now. Because we're just gatekeeping info from one another. That, like, oh, we need this bit of info that you have. You need our info. And instead of just giving it to each other, we're going to spend 10 years trying to figure it out so we can piece our own puzzle together rather than just handing it to each other. Like,
As a cooperative species, like we're not on Earth anymore. Like you,
it's all Kim, bro. It's over. I'm telling you right now, Kim Jong-un has zero valuable information for any of the world superpowers. I'm more so talking about China, Russia, the United States. If they all shared info with each other, that would be fucking awesome. Right.
we can't even go to the damn moon and work together. You would think look, let's all work together.
Kim Jong-un's cooking up fucking burger recipes on his fucking end in North Korea, dude. They got about jack shit. They're about nine to 10 years behind for what everybody else is cooking up, dude.
Together, we can all get this water because guess what? You know, whoever
Kim Jong-un making liquid cheeseburger recipes.
gets it, we need it to get to Mars or wherever else. Ugh.
It's the old watering hole problem with tribes.
Yep.
All over again.
All over again. Except on the freaking moon.
So I just want to sort of celebrate the fact that we are going back, even though it's 50 years later.
Right.
I'm happy we're going back.
Right.
I understand the motive. I'm not.
I mean, this is fucking jerk off, dude. Yeah, get the hell out of here. Your English isn't good. My English not good. I mean, I think he's black. What? What? What the fuck are we talking about, bro? Get the hell out of my chat.
Delusional about that. That crew going to the moon looks more like America.
Like obviously purposefully mistyping words to make it seem like they don't speak English.
Than the original, Mercury 7.
Not if
Like if you couldn't type that, how are you understanding what I'm saying at the rate that I'm talking? Like I have viewers that aren't native English speakers in chat right now. Right, but they still probably know how to say, oh, what are you what are you saying? Okay, yeah, Neil's black. What? What does that have to do with anything?
I can help it.
Oh, by the way, Trump puts it in, and who follows Trump as president? Biden. He doesn't cancel it.
Nope.
He keeps it.
He was asleep, that's why.
No.
Anyway.
So everybody keeps the space goal.
Right.
Because it transcends politics.
It does.
And you realize NASA has 10 centers in 8 states. And those 8 states variously at the general election vote 4 red, 4 blue, 3 red, 5 blue, 5 red, 3 blue. It is embedded in the political spectrum of the country. So if someone does not like NASA, that is insufficient information for you to know what party they vote for.
There you go.
That's how you embed it in.
See?
Kind of how I see it.
There it is. Congrats.
Wow, so you make it a political thing for both or beyond politics for both parties of just I just spit everywhere. Of just wanting to be able to explore.
Congratulations, NASA. The only thing about America that doesn't suck.
On that note, this has been yet another Star Talk Explainer, the Artemis mission, following on the legacy of Apollo. Tuck, good to have you, man.
Always a
Neil
pleasure.
deGrasse Tyson, your personal astrophysicist, as always, bidding you to keep looking up.
Wow. I loved that video. I love learning about space. I love learning about the interstellars. Neil lived long enough to see the moon mission. Go Artemis. Okay. Wait, why? God damn it. Oh my God, no. See, now I'm thinking about when Neil deGrasse Tyson's gonna die. How old is Neil deGrasse Tyson? 67. Dude, I saw a clip of somebody saying, I think it was like some fitness influencer going like, oh, the average person's going to live to 140 soon. Hell no. Hell no. You know what I do think about? If there's ever a world where they invent something that like can biologically make people immortal, I feel like I would be the jackass that would die the day before. Obviously not like physically immortal, because even if you were biologically immortal, you could still get like shot, hit by a car, die of other things. But like, I feel like if they were ever to like make something like, oh yeah, wait, no, now we could like low-key live forever. I died the day before they found that out. 15-year-old hops on steroids and lies about it.
July 2024, Joe Biden steps out of the US presidential race, leaving Kamala Harris as the presumptive candidate. Donald J. Trump survives an attempt.
Bro, you remember when we watched that debate on stream? That show was nuts. Those were fun streams, though. Watching those debates. Oh, my God. That was, how long, when were those debates? That was June of 24. So that was almost 2 years ago. Wow.
Greg Doucette uploads a natty or not on Hussein Farhad, deeming it impossible for him to be natural, but which one singular blood test convinced him of the impossible. And 13-year-old Eric English posts a picture on Instagram looking like this. And just a little over 1 year later, this is what he looks like. The kid is on steroids.
See, here's the problem, is steroids is easy to spot with older people. Like, if I jumped on gear, you would know. Like, I would immediately gain an absurd amount of weight. But when you're like 13 to 16, you could gain like 30 pounds in a year pretty quickly. Like, when I was a freshman, I started the year at like 125, 130, ended the year at like 165. Like, you can gain weight quick. He benches 405. Okay, he's on steroids. Never mind.
But let's be real here.
Never mind.
Okay, anyone with 2 brain cells to rub
Thank you, Sketty, for the accurate info input.
together saw this coming from a mile away. The kid practically got groomed by the industry into becoming a little SARM goblin.
Well, it's also just like the problem with fitness influencers in general is the bigger you are, the better you do. And so there's like a financial incentive to just get on gear because your posts are going to do better. You're going to get more likes. You're going to have more sponsors, right? Like if you're trying to get, you know, all these energy drink companies and, you know, Gymshark, Young LA, all these clothing brands, they want, what is gear? Gear is like an all-encompassing term for like SARMs, Tren, just any steroid in general that would be illegal in a tested bodybuilding like competition. HGH, is HGH gear? No. I don't know if you're allowed to do HGH in an open or a tested bodybuilding league though. But HGH you could buy at GNC. I don't know. I don't know the rules on that. But nobody would really say you're on gear if you're on HGH. Somebody's saying you're on gear if you're on like SARMs or more.
Between Larry Wheels asking Eric when he plans on hopping on steroids as if that's a normal question to ask a 14-year-old.
I did become enhanced at 17. Is that something that you're willing to do in the future?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Whatever it takes?
Do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. That's the mindset I had.
Young LA just jumping at the opportunity to sponsor him and provide him with a direct
He has 1.5 million followers.
network of other teenagers on steroids. And then this monstrosity right here, this bloated, watery, juiced up 19-year-old mess, most likely directly influencing Eric.
No, you know who's the worst right now? Andrei Smayev. Andrei Smayev is... Okay, he's not a teenager, so I know this is on the topic of, like, teens doing steroids. Andrei Smayev is taking so many fucking... If you're not in the influencer space, or the fitness space, you wouldn't know who Smayev is. This guy's 27. This guy is 3 years older than me.
Okay, perfect.
Look at him. Like... The amount of gear this guy is on is... And look at his fucking hands, man. Oh my God, I gotta mute that. Look at his fucking biceps, dude. I mean, he looks 45. Like, it's unreal. That the amount of muscle that guy's gained in like 5 years.
Eric to hop on gear, it becomes very clear that he stood absolutely no chance from the beginning. The kid got absolutely one-shotted by the shitness industry. But let's recap everything from the start. I actually remember Eric coming across my Instagram feed about 2 years ago as a 13-year-old kid getting into fitness. He blew up pretty much...
The problem, too, is people are gonna fucking shit on you. Like, I don't think it's just the fitness influencers that were around him that might have been influencing him to get on gear, but it's also just like... If you're going to openly post your gym progress on Instagram, the amount of chuds that are going to fucking shit on you is insane. The amount of people that are going to be like, you're fucking... It's like not even the black pill community. It's just a bunch of like gym heads that are just dickheads because they want to put other people down to make themselves seem like bigger in their own mind. So if you're like, hey, I'm just starting to work out, they're going to be like, yeah, buddy, you have no potential. I could tell by your structure you're not going to be able to put on muscle. Why do steroids make you look older? You lose your hair, you get acne, you're just going to age a bit more. Are you tired of having to transfer money from your Cash App account to be able to spend it at the store? Well, all your problems are now solved with the all-new customizable Cash App debit card. With no monthly charges or minimum balance requirements and exclusive cardholder perks, the Cash App card is the card for you. Not only does the Cash App debit card give you exclusive discounts on things that you get every single day, like coffee, food delivery, video games, and more, but also exclusive pre-sale ticket access to some of your favorite artists like Kendrick Lamar, SZA, Sabrina Carpenter, Drake, and more. And for a limited time only, new Cash App customers over the age of 18 can earn $10 if they use code CASH10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend or more within the first 14 days. And if you're 13 to 17, request a parent or guardian sponsored account, sign up with code CASH10 and get $10 dropped into your account when you order and activate a Cash App card and send $5 or more to a friend within the first 14 days. Terms apply. Thank you to Cash App for sponsoring this video, and let's get back into it.
Often that you see a little kid hitting lat spreads and stomach vacuums, and credit where credit's due, okay? The kid looked amazing for a 13-year-old.
Yeah, he's got a lot of muscle.
Please don't clip that out of context. Okay, I promise I'm not in any Jeff Nipstein flight logs. But it's true, right? Look at his physique, right? Look at the biceps, look at the serratus, look at the vacuum pose. I mean, keep in mind, this kid is 13 years old. Okay, I would have killed to look like this at 13. I mean, come on. 1.7
Dude, 1.7 million likes is nuts.
million likes. And so, as expected, all
He looks starved. He was doing a vacuum, which is when you, like, suck in, like, you're like... I can't even... Oh, my God, that just made me cramp. Oh. I can't even do a vacuum like that. That hurt. Minus aura. Yeah, out of my prime. Getting a bit old? No, I just don't do fucking vacuums. I was supposed to go to the gym today, and I didn't, though. I think I am starting to get smaller. I don't have the abs like Clav.
to be flocking to sponsor this kid, the main one being Young LA. And it makes sense from a business perspective.
I worked with Young LA for like 4 months. I don't think they really got many returns on my code, though, so...
Right? Eric has
Didn't really continue from there.
a lot of eyes on it. Whether it's okay from an ethical standpoint, though, we'll get into later. But so he gets sponsored by Young LA fairly early on the 23rd of November 2023. This post by Rising Lifters reads, "This is crazy. 13-year-old Eric English has become the youngest ever Young LA athlete. Since
See, here's the thing, though, is like Young LA isn't guaranteed. Young LA has a weird... Most energy drink brands like Gorilla Mind or Young LA or like any of those companies, they're not guaranteed giving you a salary. Like, some of it might just flat out be like an affiliate code, but the affiliate code is only given to a set amount of people. Does that make sense? Where, like, Young LA does have people on salary. Like, some of their what is Young LA? Thought Young LA was close. It is. Young LA is a fitness brand, like Gymshark. I'm just talking about, like, broad fitness sponsors in general. Like, just because you have a code doesn't mean that you didn't get paid. It doesn't mean that you're getting paid monthly. A lot of the time it does. I'm assuming for somebody at his size, in terms of followers, he was probably getting, like, maybe like $5K a month or something like that, on top of whatever, like, affiliate code they were giving him.
documenting his
Maybe more, actually. He was getting 1 million likes a post. He was probably getting paid more.
incredible fitness journey,
It's amazing for 13. Yeah, but the other problem is, like, when you're that young in the space, you're just gonna get conned, bro. They're gonna lowball the fuck out of you. If you don't have a management agency and this 13-year-old is negotiating with a company, they're just gonna pay him shit.
has amassed over 800,000 followers on Instagram, attracting the big
I'm not saying Young LA is. I don't think they would. Young LA, when I worked with them, was a pretty decent company. But I don't know what type of deal he would have gotten.
biggest brands in the industry. Now, due to the sponsorship, he of course immediately
How does somebody that young get roids? That guy right behind him? Any gym influencer? If you were, like, really into lifting and you're like when I was 15 going to the gym, I could have just asked around and somebody would have gotten me roids at some point. Because you got to keep in mind, these kids aren't going to Planet Fitness, right? Like, they're not working out at some fucking chain gym. They're working out at, like, not a 24-hour. They're working out at, like, a 6 a.m. to, like, 8 p.m. gym just full of, like, meatheads. Like, there's like, half the guys are on roids.
starts collabing with big roided up names in the industry, like Eric Janicki, for example, from HTLT Supplements. He's now fully entered the fitness industrial complex, and there's no way back for him. June 6, 2024, a video of him posing gets 271,000 likes. One day later, June 7th, 2024, he already starts making steroid jokes. August 15th, 2024, he goes to a Young LA event and gets to meet some incredible influences, like self-proclaimed steroid, gambling, and drug addict Togi. 10 days later, he posts a video of him posing alongside Noel Dizel, and you can tell that Eric is slowly but surely packing on size. Very, very impressive for a 14-year-old. September 18th, 2024, Eric appears to have started a pretty significant bulk and is looking a lot fluffier. He's now wanting to put on as much size as possible. October
He still doesn't look like he's on steroids, though. Like, the problem with telling, like, if this kid's on steroids is really just, like, what he's lifting. Like, I know I was like, oh, when he's benching 405, I'm like, this kid's on roids. Just because he looks like the person that has a build that he could bench maybe like 225 if he was really lifting. Like, there were guys in my high school that were sophomores benching 500, but they were also 320-pound linebackers, right? Like, they were 6'4" and 330. You know, this kid looks 5'7". Like, if you're like 5'7" and you're benching 405, you're like one of the strongest people in your age range ever.
November 12th, 2024, Eric goes to the Olympics.
For how big you are.
Again, gets to meet influencers like Larry Wheels, infamous fake natty Tristan Lee, and Nick the Mutant Walker.
Dude, I remember being so jealous of Tristan, because I think Tristan Lee's around my age. I remember being so jealous of Tristan Lee when I was younger. Yeah, Tristan Lee's my age. I remember being so jealous of him, and I was like, it's because he's short. That's why he looks so good. That's why he has a six-pack. Who's Tristan Lee? Some fitness influencer.
2nd of January 2025, his infamous collab with Larry Wheels. We'll circle back to this in a bit. So at this point, start of 2025, this is what Eric now looks like. Very impressive physique. He actually has a good amount of muscle on his frame. He also still appears to be natural here. His progress up until this point seems to be indicative of a young kid that has just recently started puberty and has a passion for working out. But only 6 months later, his comment section on Instagram would blow up with people spamming needle emojis and accusing him of being on steroids. And once you see his 8-month transformation, it all starts to make sense why.
6 months?
I mean, come on. It looks
I don't know, bro. There were guys in my high school that were that big. There were, like, I mean, some of my chatters, I know the transformation's nuts, but, like, he's not shredded like that. Like, this guy probably is, like, 18% body fat. Like, that's not that unreasonable. You're going through puberty, you're lifting all the time, and he's probably eating a shitload, and he's hanging out with influencers, and he has a reason to just constantly lift. I don't want to be, like, playing devil's advocate here, but I used to watch Do Sets Natty or Not videos. I used to watch, like, all the shit about David Lade. And, like, a lot of those guys, yeah, were on fucking roids. But, like, some of the time, it would just be like, yeah, he's on roids, look at him. I'm like, you can't just say, look at him, he's on roids. Like, yeah, a big thing that people point towards steroids is, like, your shoulders, because your shoulders gain a lot of muscles when you're on steroids because there's some, like, receptors there or some shit. I don't know the science about it. His shoulders aren't that big.
like the guy on the left ate the guy on the right. You know how people usually tell you to trust the process when it comes to working out? This kid has skipped the process entirely. This is an insane 6-month transformation. I mean, Eric practically had the entire fitness industry shocked, and understandably so, right? One moment he looks like a freshman, 6 months later he looks like he's repeating senior year for the 5th time. I mean, he must have somehow been able to get his hands on Hussein Farhat's elusive broomstick and ladder workout routine. That's the only way I can make sense of this insane transformation. Genuinely, this is, shout out to this girl, by the way. Let me just make sure my ass cheeks are front and center while I take a picture with a 15-year-old. Who is this girl? What a surprise. An entire page full of gym cell gooner bait. If you actively consume this type of content, you're what's wrong with the fitness industry, okay? Just fully contributing towards the degeneration of this industry. Some of you need to be ashamed of yourselves, okay? Genuinely, do better. 1 million likes on this reel. The top comment has over 120,000 likes. I missed
a couple chapters. Cut's going to be crazy.
A couple of chapters. Look, let's click on a random post, right? This one is from April.
Yo, somebody said song name. On God, though. Side note, that's facts. Any gym influencer somehow has like the most niche funk fucking edit music. Bro, like you'll just be like, it'll just be like a random like video of them doing curls and it'll just be this playing. And you're like, what song is that?
Just a couple of chapters. Look, let's click on a random post, right? This one is from April 2025. And this is what he looks like. And then let's just scroll up a couple of times. This is 4 months.
Wait, how much does he weigh?
Later. Times.
225 at 5'11". Yeah. And it's like, it's not like a fat 225. Like the guys in my high school that were benching 405 when they were like sophomores were like 6'2", 340, but they were like big.
This is 4 months later. A completely different person. Look at the top comment. Every single time he posts, he grows twice in size, 20,000 likes. And of course, his strength just inexplicably skyrockets as well. Here he says that he could bench 315 pounds for multiple reps only a week after benching for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, this kid's 15 and he's 3 inches shorter than me, but 40 pounds heavier.
And that's 140 kilograms, right?
All right, now I'm starting to see the steroids.
Totally normal. And then of course, only 2 months later,
Holy shit! So, putting 4 plates on each side. My God.
he's hitting 405 pounds on the bench press. That's
Bro.
180 kilograms.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, come on. To put that into perspective, it can take natural lifters with decent genetics and dedicated bench programming up to a decade.
Yeah, like right now, I like half-ass my lifting. If I really just locked in at the gym, really only spent every day working out. Right now, my max is probably around 270. I think in 6 months, I could bench 270 to maybe 340, but I'm also 24. Like, that's a crazy increase.
To hit 4 plates on the bench.
340. I think if 340 is crazy, sketty. I know that I'm very self-absorbed in this sense, but hear me out. If I dropped everything that I was doing and I just worked out all the time and I only cared about working out and weightlifting and powerlifting, I think I could bench 340 in 6 months. Do it then? No, because I would have to spend fucking 3 hours a day at the gym and I would have to focus on everything that I'd eat. I would also bulk like crazy. That's how I would do it. I would gain 30 pounds and then I would put 60 on the bench. That's what I do. I barely bench at 350. I barely hit 315. Sketty, you work out all the time. I feel like you're like a meathead. I think that I'm not trying to sit here and be like, if I locked in, I could bench a lot. When I was a sophomore, I could squat 315 ass to grass for 10 reps. And I was 165. Like, I think if I actually fucking like just locked in, I could do like 320.
Even never be able to. And Eric does it at age 15 after only 2 months of benching. Right? That's it.
That's not that hard. I'm not saying it's that hard. I'm not bragging. See, here's that one chat. That's not that hard. I'm actually 16 and I fucking squat 485. Meanwhile, you hit a fucking 30-degree squat and then fucking just stand back up.
The industry's leading authority on natty or nots. I feel like I've seen more than enough to pass a verdict here. I've reviewed the evidence. I've consulted the comments
Heaviest you've ever been, 185. Right now, I'm probably like 178.
section. I have stared at pictures
This is making me want to lock in. This chat doubting me right now is actually like pissing me off. I'm so serious. I'm so dead ass. Now I really want to, but I get up too late, bro. I'm a bum. I play video games till 3 a.m. and then I fucking wake up at like 10:30.
A shirtless 13-year-old for much longer than I'm comfortable admitting. I mean, seriously, I was doing research for this video and writing this script in a coffee shop.
I would love to be 200 pounds, but like a good like 195. Not in the twos. I would love to be like a 190 to 195, just in shape though.
There were people sitting behind.
Let me train you, I'll get you to 225. Brother, I would have to gain 45 pounds. I would be fat. If I gained 45 pounds in 6 months, I would look horrible.
Me. Do you know how weird I felt? It took me like 10 minutes to realize working on this video in public wasn't my brightest idea and packed my bags to go home. Anywho.
Hop on gear. Now you're talking. Nope, don't do that. Don't do steroids.
I'm digressing. By the power vested in me by absolutely no one, I officially ruled this kid a fake natty. Now, as I said at the start of the video, the writing was already on the walls years ago. Of course, any teenager that suddenly finds social media fame for their physique is going to be at an increased risk of hopping on PEDs due to industry pressure. We've seen this happen countless of times. But what sealed the deal for me, what made me confident that it was only going to be a matter of time before Eric would start sipping on the forbidden Capri Sun, was that Young LA sponsorship. And this speaks to a much bigger problem within the industry, especially regarding Young LA. You see, Young LA, more so I feel like than most of their competitors, seem to be really focused on capturing as much of that teenage lifter market share as possible. And there's inherently nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with catering towards this age group. Teenage lifters.
Well, yeah, teenage lifters is going to be the highest growing market, and it's your biggest competitor is Gymshark. I mean, Gymshark did this years ago, though. Like, for those of you that remember, Young LA 10 years ago, I don't know if it was a thing, but like, when I was 15, my version of Young LA was Gymshark. Gymshark was the gym brand.
Especially
that was what everybody wanted to wear. It was like they had the coolest stringers and like pants, shorts.
Online make up a really big part of this industry. A lot of people, including myself, got into lifting as teenagers. No, the problem lies when you then cede all responsibility in favor of increasing numbers and virality as much as possible, which has led Young LA to repeatedly sponsor some of the most egregious teenage PED cases in the industry. For example, do you guys remember this kid, Logan Dishman, that 17-year-old Young LA athlete who claimed he was natty while benching nearly 1,000 pounds, but then exposed himself?
I mean, okay, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to rule check you right now, but butts off the bench here, pal.
1,000 pounds.
Butts off the bench here, pal. That's not a real 900-pound lift.
But then exposed himself.
If I put my butt off the bench, I could, no.
When he got hospitalized for using a dirty steroid needle.
Oh my God.
And his heart stopped beating while in the ER, causing him to go on life support. Well, he's still sponsored by Young LA. They didn't issue a single statement, didn't disavow the abuse of PEDs amongst minors. Instead, they kept him on and continued inviting him to their events. They made it very clear that the only thing they care about is how many eyeballs these kids can bring to their brand, which is already bad enough on its own. But then they take someone like Eric English, a young, impressionable 14-year-old, and they fly him out to those same events so he can intermingle with those older teenagers who are openly abusing performance-enhancing drugs, teenagers who Young LA are directly enabling. Do we really think these dudes are not going to rub off on a 14-year-old? And yet this guy, Logan Dishman, does not even appear to be the main influence in Eric's decision to hop on PEDs. No. That honor belongs to another teenager, also sponsored by Young LA, also seemingly introduced to Eric through a Young LA event, who also appears to be throwing everything but the kitchen sink at himself when it comes to PEDs. Meet Gentile Lifts. Probably the most obnoxious fitness influencer you'll see in a very long time. He got his break on the internet by injecting himself with copious amounts of steroids and creating what can only be described as some kind of weird, niche fetish content. No. I'm not joking, okay? How else are you gonna describe this?
This back exercise is gonna make you squeal like a pig.
What the fuck?
Exercise is gonna make you squeal like a pig. Oink, oink, don't be a little pig. Let's go hit some heavy hammer curls. 70 pounds, she couldn't make it 2 rounds. I bent over like she was last night. She was the opposite of tight. The 115 flew faster than her cream. Back exercise that will make you scream like a monkey. Make sure to get your potassium in.
Yeah, seems like a normal, well-adjusted fella.
Why are people like, but like that has to be like rage bait content.
Well, to me, you'd think surely nobody actually watches this shit, right? Like, it has to be contained to some weird fringe subgroup of gym cells. Nope. 164,000 likes. The irreparable damage Shizzy has done to the fitness industry truly needs to be studied.
Scary 1,000-pound front squats.
Okay, no, that's kind of funny though. Like him starting out the video wearing a mask, just red in the face, flexing, screaming in the mic.
Just a regular healthy 07 kid. So we first see Eric and Gentile meeting up way before he made his insane transformation and before he even started bulking for the first time. This video right here is from August 2024. As expected, they met up at a Young LA gym, as you can see in the background. They seemingly didn't collab again until right around Eric made his suspicious transformation. But ever since that transformation, it's as if every other reel this guy posts includes Eric in some way, shape, or form. They've gotten very chummy with each other. So right as Eric makes a highly suspicious transformation, he starts hanging out with a teenager that very obviously abuses PEDs. It's not very difficult to see what most likely happened here.
Watch the bulk get us massive.
Well, the scariest part is, like, this is gonna fuck up their hormones. Like, if they ever get off gear, and they've been on gear since they were like 15, they're gonna have to be on basically hormone replacement therapy for the rest of their life. Like, they're not, yeah, you're not gonna naturally create testosterone as a male if you're on steroids, like, say 14 to 28, and he gets off when he's like 29. Like, he's gonna be on test, not like steroid test, but he's gonna be on test for the rest of his life.
Sure to eat.
Just why? Why would you want to look like this?
Unless you're sketty, of course. Yeah, unless you're sketty, because your mind and your body are a temple.
understand Eric is bulking with the intention to cut, but this guy Gentile has looked like this for years. Just grotesque. And that steroid moon face is not doing Eric any favors. Even though he's a handsome young man, all that water weight and redness has him looking like... Okay, I'm not gonna say that. That's mean. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Looking like John Pork.
The bulk is real. He went from, hello, my name is Eric English, to, I'm Eric. Give me another burger. He added over 100 pounds to his bench in just 4 months. All
Okay, yeah, 100 pounds to a bench in 4 months is nuts.
because of the bulk.
POV, you showed your boy
100 pounds at the bench in 4 months. And that's starting at 305 to 405. And y'all are saying I'm crazy. Well, he's also on steroids. But I'm saying I would go from like 270 to 340, which would be a 70 increase.
how to bulk.
In 6
This being
months.
obvious code for you showed your boy how to run a cycle. Okay, this is this guy's entire thing. Gentile's entire brand is just rage baiting everybody by consistently claiming he's
Are
natural
they just
to
gonna
farm
find
and
my TikTok and I'm gonna feel embarrassed? Sketty lifts, probably. Oh yeah, this is sketty. Low genuinely a smooth 3 seconds away from blasting gear, getting famous, and claiming natty / vegan. I think that's the move. You'd be like the new David Lade. You'd be like, oh, no, I'm not on gear.
engagement. And this is just another instance of that, passing off Eric's obvious PED use as quote-unquote just a bulk. Take a look at this comment I found in a Reddit thread about Gentile lifts. I couldn't directly verify these claims myself, so do take them with a pinch of salt, but nonetheless I figured they were worth mentioning. This commenter basically wrote that Gentile got exposed with some other guys including Logan Dishman for being in a quote-unquote we are kids and take PEDs group. He then also claims that there was early footage of Gentile in 2023 that was leaked where he said that he had been on a cycle for a while and that he was gonna claim natty for jokes and sponsors. I gotta say, it does all sound very in character for these two meatheads. These are the influences in Eric's life. This is why I say that it should have come to no surprise to anyone that was paying attention that Eric would eventually hop on PEDs. This is what Young LA is
But I just don't understand the reason to lie about being on steroids, because the majority of these brands will still sponsor you if you're on steroids. They don't care, right? Like if you're a gymfluencer and you're on roids, like you are, that doesn't mean you're not going to get sponsored by fucking protein companies and shit like that. They don't give a fuck, right? Because they still sponsor open bodybuilders. They sponsor IFBB pros, and IFBB pros are all on roids. It's just, maybe they don't talk about it, but it's like, he's a child. Yeah, but I'm saying the guys that are like 19, 20. Why are they saying it has to be just for clicks. I'm not talking about Eric right now. I'm talking about these guys that are like 19, 20, 25. Like, why are they saying they're not on roids? Just say you're on roids. Who cares, right? Like Noel Diesel, I follow him, or Diesel, however you say his name. He's on roids. He says he's on roids, right? And which I respect. Like, if you're I don't care if you're a gymfluencer on roids, just say you're on steroids, right? In this case, I don't think this kid should be taking steroids because he's fucking 15 and it's going to ruin his body.
promoting.
But
okay, it should speak to how cooked this industry is.
And then you get worried, man. Like, dude, like, then you get into the fear that these guys will die when they're like 30.
Can't even expect the
Like the amount of gym influencers that have heart attacks when they're young.
bare minimum level of responsibility from one of the largest brands in the space. You know, it's not like we're asking them to build schools in Africa or send humanitarian aid to war zones. Just maybe don't enable steroid use amongst minors. You know, maybe don't sponsor and promote 17-year-olds that take steroids, lie about it, and then get hospitalized due to them. Maybe don't introduce impressionable 14-year-olds to a climate riddled with PED use. Corrupting the youth just to sell a couple of extra t-shirts is truly an interesting business model, I gotta say.
The devil's advocate response here is they're gonna do it either way because they look up to these guys, even if you're not putting them on in a physical sense where like Eric's gonna meet the Trend twins, he's still gonna watch them. And so they're still just going to take the steroid.
But hey, Batman merch, right everyone? I get to feel like Bruce Wayne on my Demon Winter arc, fueled by weird cuck fantasies. And to be truthful, as much as I like to point a finger at Young LA, they are simply
Noel's on the boat with them? Yeah, because Noel's a Young LA influencer.
a symptom of a much broader problem. The reason why they enable this stuff is because there's no downside for them in doing so. Because teenage PED use as a whole
And I don't think, for the people that he's like, oh, Noel's on the boat with them, Noel doesn't promote steroid usage to Eric. I guarantee you he doesn't. Because he openly says on his videos, like, I'm on steroids. That doesn't mean you should take them.
has just become way too normalized in this industry. It's why Larry Wheels asks a 14-year-old if he has any plans of hopping on steroids in the future, as if that's a normal thing to do, and why he receives almost no backlash for doing so.
I did become enhanced at 17. Is that something that you're willing to do in the future?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, whatever it takes?
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. That's the mindset I had.
That's the mindset I had. Larry Wheels is so dumb, bro. Like, I genuinely think he's like a good, well-meaning guy, but he just doesn't think stuff through.
Yeah, I don't think like Larry Wheels meant bad when he said that, but it's like from the outside perspective, it's like you're kind of like low-key convincing this kid to take steroids. But from Larry's perspective, he's just like, oh, well, I was on steroids when I was 17.
This particular case to be exceptionally unfortunate because he truly didn't have to hop on PEDs. There's a reason why Eric managed to grow his following to over 1.5 million followers without ever touching a needle. The kid was genuinely unique in that he started lifting and documenting his journey at such a young age, and that you could see him not only grow up but develop himself as a natural lifter from scratch. But now he's just become another fake natty. This is a great comment right here. What would little you think about you hopping on steroids? And Eric replies with, speaking out of ignorance. This guy comments a needle emoji. Eric replies with, insecurity. So much potential. Yet in the end, he just became another gaslighting fake natty to add to the pile. Since I know you'll be watching this video,
Yeah, because it's always like they never just take a steroid test to be like, I'm not on roids. They're always just like, nah, I'm not on roids. Like, you could just like prove that. Take a drug test. That was a good video. I have no hate towards that kid. It's just like, don't, you know, like if he is on steroids, which, you know, most people's signs are pointing towards yes, it's like, it's more so the worry of like, hey man, that's like really bad for you. Like that could kill you. I'm sorry, Chad. I know I pissed 4 times this stream. I gotta piss now. How the Super Bowl really works. I'm excited for this video. I know the Super Bowl just happened, but I went, so I feel like I could give my own personal insight on it too, so it'd be really cool to, like, you know, converse about it.
The Super Bowl isn't just a football game. It's a logistical monster.
Stuck in traffic here.
Behind one kickoff is years of planning, billions of dollars, and one of the largest security operations in the country.
For the Super Bowl.
Entire cities compete for the right to host it. Thousands of workers.
Security's pretty lackluster, I'm not gonna lie. Snuck an edible into that bitch. Got in there with weed. Well, I don't know if they were searching for that. They did have drug dogs. They did have drug dogs, but I had that shit in my pocket. You walk through a metal detector and they wave you with a wand too. That's it. But they do have security guards everywhere. They have security guards, cops everywhere.
Volunteers, media members, and law enforcement agencies are involved.
They shut down all the roads outside of it. That was like part of my complaint was when I left through the west side, and I was supposed to go to the east side to get in my car so I could go back. Or not my car, get in the car. I had a driver. And we had to walk like 2 miles because every road was fucking closed. So I'm just walking on a highway all the way around the stadium, this big lap, because they close off every fucking road.
Private jets flood airports. Hotel rooms disappear.
Yeah, dude, booking a hotel was actually so painful in San Fran. The Super Bowl was in San Jose. There were about 0 hotels in San Jose. I didn't want to stay there anyway because everybody told me that was a dud city and there's nothing to fucking do there. And I was there for like a week. So I stayed in San Fran because it's only like an hour away. And even in San Fran, bro, the hotels were like $700 a night, $650 a night. It was horrible. And there was like 3 hotels that were open. Everything else was booked.
And for 1 week, everything in that city revolves around a single event. So how does the NFL actually pull it off? In this video, we're breaking down how the Super Bowl really works, from host city selection, Super Bowl week logistics, to broadcasting, commercials.
Bro, it was the perfect, I'm not gonna lie, like Levi Stadium in San Jose was the perfect fucking stadium for the Super Bowl. The amount of people that are showing up was not even a problem. Because there's San Jose Airport and San Fran Airport 45 minutes away from each other. 2 big-ass cities and Oakland across the water. You could, like, they had no problem holding that amount of people. Like, if they have, when they have the fucking World Cup in New Jersey, cooked. C-O-O-K-E-D, cooked. That shit's going to be terrible. Already overcrowded-ass state. And then on top of that, we're going to have millions of people flying in. You're on crack. If Newark Airport, the worst airport in the fucking world. Newark Airport, worst airport in the fucking world, dude. We're going to have everybody flying in there. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Have fun getting your fucking flight 9 hours early to stand in line for fucking 6. Hell no. But I will say, I was worried that on the way home from the Super Bowl, I was gonna, like, be in a line waiting to leave at the airport. Bro, we left the next day at noon. We walked through security. There was no line. I was like, where is everybody? What happened to the 70,000 people that showed up?
And everything that happens once the final whistle blows.
At SFO? Yeah, there's nobody there. After party? Well, I left on Monday.
Where does
Yeah, they used private jets. I was a chud. No, I wasn't, because there was an Eagles player on the flight with me.
the planning for the Super Bowl start? With the selection of a host city. To host the Super Bowl, you first have to place a bid, which normally starts about 4 years out, and the NFL considers a multitude of factors to select a host city. The NFL...
I thought if you're the host city, you can't be in the Super Bowl. Am I wrong? When was the last time the Super Bowl was held in the city of a competing team? Yeah, in 2022. Oh, no, it's 2022. When the LA Rams... Yeah, the LA Rams hosted at their own stadium. And then the Bucks. Oh, shit. I didn't know that. Well, I haven't been paying attention.
considers stadium quality and capacity, obviously, but also many other factors like hotel inventory, airport capacity, the climate of the city if the field is in a dome, security on hand, and corporate infrastructure. To get the game, host cities will come up with intricate plans that cost millions of dollars to prepare. This may seem backwards, but it's actually an investment. For example, Las Vegas spent roughly $60 million preparing for the Super Bowl. But the return was massive, with an estimated economic boost hovering around $600 to $700 million, a 10x.
They made $700 million in their city in the fucking, 2 days that the Super Bowl, shit took place there. I'm not gonna lie, they were hyping it up all over San Fran. When I was in San Francisco, I was there, a week before, and every business, every restaurant had Super Bowl specials, Super Bowl themed things, Super Bowl this, Super Bowl that. There was special events that were being held at Pier 39. They had stuff going on just trying to rake money in. And it was working, dude. Everyone was going to that shit.
Return. These investments are in a number of different things. Host cities will often renovate stadium locker rooms.
I didn't know the NFL doesn't pay for the halftime show. I knew that I learned that 3 years ago, that the artist has to pay for it.
Improve
or their sponsors, but they get the money back. It's still, you're still in set. The idea is hey, we're not going to pay you to perform, but when you perform, your music's just going to fucking spike. You know, like when Usher performed, I'm using Usher as an example because he's kind of like an older artist that, you know, regained popularity. When Usher performed, his music like tripled. Like motherfuckers start listening. Yeah, people start listening to you again. Like Ludacris and Lil Jon and all those people when he performed.
Broadcast capabilities by adding new cabling for cameras and a host of other things. Cities will tightly map out traffic plans, trying to find the most efficient ways for fans.
How much do you think Kid Rock got paid to do the All-American halftime show?
To reach the stadium. Another important
probably $10 and a wet napkin.
Consideration is airport availability. There are plenty of commercial flights that will be arriving for the big game.
And he went, oh yeah.
But an even bigger consideration is being able to house all of the private jets. The Super Bowl obviously is just as much a social event as
what a problem to have. We have too many private jets coming in.
It is a sporting one, with thousands of celebrities.
Suck a dick, fly Spirit, bitch.
Athletes and business moguls.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh, we have too many private jets coming in. Some of our clients, all of our billionaires aren't able to come in. Fuck off.
Given this, a ton of private jets arrive every single year for the Super Bowl. For Super Bowl 58 in Vegas, approximately 882 private jets flew into the city for the big game. The year before that, in Phoenix, a record 931 private jets. Insane. The Super Bowl is labeled as an NSSE, short for a National Security Special Event. This means that a multitude of different security groups need to work together to ensure a smooth, safe event for everyone. That means a group effort and collaboration between the Secret Service, FBI, Department of Homeland Security.
Yo, I don't know if they had to do with it. There were so many homeless people in San Fran the day before and the day of the Super Bowl. None. I'm telling you, I would walk down an alleyway, there would be 9 homeless people on the sidewalk. When it was the day before the day of the Super Bowl, they were gone. I don't know where they were, where they put them, if they moved out or something. I moved out. I don't know where they moved them.
State police and local law enforcement. The exact number is tough to pin down, but it is estimated that the FBI, DHS, and Secret Service contribute anywhere from 500 to 700. State and local law enforcement between 1,200 and 2,000. And roughly another 200 to 400 from the National Guard. All told, well over 3,000 plus security members help secure the Super Bowl. To house everyone visiting, hotels work overtime. In New Orleans, it was estimated that 43,000 hotel rooms were roughly 90.
Yeah, hotels working overtime. Meanwhile, my hotel has one plunger that they pass around for each person when a fucking toilet clogs. I mean, you gotta be goddamn kidding me. Oh, we're really hyping up the Super Bowl here. Why do we not have a plunger in every fucking hotel room? I mean, what type of stupid shit is that? I have to call you? I call the guy. You'll see it in the vlog. I was getting mad. Like, I clogged my toilet. I try unclogging it with my foot. It doesn't go, okay? It doesn't go. And this is like a 20-minute process, right? I'm giving the double flush, the triple flush. We're on the brim, right? Like, the water's almost spilling over. So it goes down a little bit. And, you know, I end up getting a hanger, and I try mushing it down with that. It does nothing. And, chat, keep in mind, the poop's gone at this point. It's just toilet paper. It's just toilet paper. And I ended up washing my foot. It was fine. So I jam my foot in the toilet. Does nothing. So I end up calling them. And I go, hey, I clogged my toilet. There's no plunger in the room. And they go, oh, we'll bring up a plunger in a minute. I get a knock on the door. And this guy comes up. He's wearing a suit. He doesn't even look like a janitor. And he's holding the plunger in a trash bag. And he's like, can I come in? And I go, no. I don't say that. I go, I could do it. And he goes, are you sure? I'm like, what do you think? What do you think? There's something alive in the fucking bathroom, dude? No, I'm a grown-ass man. I don't want you to fucking unclog my toilet. What the hell is this? So I go, give me the plunger. So I take the plunger, and I fucking shut the door in his face. I go unclog the toilet, and then I bring it back. I go, here you go. And he goes, thanks. I go, thanks. And then he walks away. I go, hey, this is an interaction we could avoid. All you got to do is put a plunger in the room. How much is a plunger? $5? $10? $12? And I tell Brooke this, and Brooke's standing there. She's listening to me talk to this guy. I go, who the fuck would want him to plunge their toilet? And she was like, you'd be surprised. And, you know, I ended up thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, there probably are some, like, really, like, richy people that are like, could you unclog my toilet for me? Fuck out of here. I want to unclog. I don't want somebody, like, you know how weird that would feel if I let this guy in my hotel room and then he's just sitting there just mushing. I know that looked weird.
3% occupied.
Gross.
In Vegas, that number was tenfold. 413,000 hotel rooms were booked between Friday and Sunday, the week of the Super Bowl. Although this is expected for a city like Las Vegas, where many people probably visited to enjoy everything Vegas has to offer during America's biggest sporting event. Who makes up many of the people attending the Super Bowl? Volunteers, of course. 10,000 plus volunteers help every single year with the Super Bowl. This includes everyone from airport greeters to fan experience staff and traffic coordinators. Concessions.
I don't think I saw a single person he just mentioned.
And traffic coordinators.
Nope. Traffic coordinators, yes. None of the airport greeters.
Concessions are also incredibly important for the Super Bowl experience. People need food to eat while enjoying the game. There are roughly between 2
chicken nuggets and French fries. That's what they had.
And 3,000 core food and beverage staff working the game. But given this is the Super Bowl, they need a little extra help. To handle this, an additional 1,000 to 2,000 workers are brought in to help serve people food and drink. Most interestingly, the revenue gained from concessions alone is astronomical. It is estimated that anywhere between $6 and $8 million is grossed on concessions alone. That is
I feel like that's majorly from alcohol too, bro. They were charging fucking 19. Dude, no, it was $20 for a 19-ounce beer. I was like, wow, I'm paying $1 an ounce. $1 an ounce for fucking piss. For piss water.
a lot of food and drinks. Lastly, the most important attendees of the big game are, of course, the coaches and players. This includes the 53-man roster, plus 2 to 4 additional reserves, 20 to 25 coaches, 15 to 20 medical/training staff, and another 25 to 30 operations personnel, totaling 115 to 130 people per team. And believe me when I tell you this, their schedules the week of the Super Bowl are crazy. Super Bowl week is hectic, to say the least. Teams normally arrive Sunday before the Super Bowl to get settled and have a lengthy week of activities ahead of them. On Monday, the festivities begin, most notably opening night. On opening night, individual players and coaches from both teams are at podiums. Thousands of media members gather around them to ask questions and record viral moments, like this interview between Deion Sanders and Marshawn Lynch several years back.
You look good. Shit, you do too.
The event is also commonly open to fans as a ticketed event. The host stadium.
Do that many people watch opening night? I think I've only seen clips of opening night like once or twice ever.
Will often play hype videos for each team.
Yeah, clip farming night. That's what I'm thinking, bro. I'm like, I don't think anybody taps into opening night the week before.
Music and entertain with team mascots. In total, it is about
Joe's screening out. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, you just see me pass out.
90 minutes and gets most of the media obligations out of the way early, allowing teams to focus on football later in the week. Tuesday through Friday are much more football focused. Teams hold full practices and media events are limited. While coaches and players will still conduct individual interviews on these days are way more tame than opening night and allow players to focus on what's important. Saturday is when things really tighten up and calm down. The teams normally hold light walkthroughs and media sessions are at a minimum, with only key players and coaches holding brief interviews. Most of the players' time is spent in hotels, reviewing film and mental.
Bro, Joe Burrow be getting injured so often. I could so see Joe Burrow making it to the Super Bowl one day, and then the day before, they're like, he has the stomach virus. Joe Burrow has contracted the Black Plague. And then every Cincinnati fan goes, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Prepping for the night.
But Joe Burrow somehow got a new case of Ebola.
Next day.
He's going to be out for the rest of the season.
On Super Bowl Sunday, everything is tightly scheduled and feels like it is timed down to the minute. Players are required to be up and at breakfast around 7 hours before kickoff. Teams will often hold a few additional meetings for position groups and then head to the stadium 3 to 4 hours before kickoff. For travel to the game, teams obviously have police escorts and NFL security to ensure a safe arrival, and teams have a fixed window of arrival set by the league. Upon entering the stadium, players will get additional treatment needed and then begin warm-ups 90 minutes before kickoff. After warm-ups, players will head back to the locker room for some last-minute speeches by captains and coaches before being introduced for the big game.
I feel like that's not that different from a regular game, though, no? Like, he's talking about how the Super Bowl really works. I feel like how teams, obviously it's a lot more serious because it's the Super Bowl, but how teams are treating their Super Bowl game is like a playoff, like any playoff game. Like, I think there is a little bit more rest probably in between because you don't want to be, like, at all lethargic and then you're going to put it out all out on the field, you know, because it's the last game of the fucking season or the postseason, but still.
And then the show really starts. To showcase the spectacle for those not in attendance, a broadcast is needed, of course.
I will say, I think that they are getting more and more geared towards TV viewers than stadium viewers. And I think they have to kind of get a mix in between there. Like, Bad Bunny's halftime show, I really liked, but it was clearly made for TV, right? Similar to, you know, last year's or any of the years before. Like, most people say, like, Rihanna, I think, had one that was, like, really good for, like, the in-audience and TV people. But it's, like, all of it's around TV-focused TV stuff. So it's like they do like fan shit, but like if I'm being honest, outside of the halftime show, the Super Bowl felt like any regular season game. Obviously, there's more shit on the line, so it's more hype, but there's no different feeling. You're in a regular stadium. It's the Levi's Stadium. Maybe they decorate it a little bit more. But it's just it's just a football. It's a football game. Like, you're going to a big football game. That's what it is.
4 major broadcast channels that retain rights to host the Super Bowl, rotating every year. They are CBS, Fox, NBC, and ABC.
That game was ass. I will say the game was very lackluster the first half. The second half, I thought it got good, especially in person. It was pretty hype watching like an interception and shit. But it was just straight 4 field goals.
Under the most recent deal signed in 2021, the first 3 channels have the rights to 3 Super Bowls.
Worst offensive line I've ever seen from the Patriots. Yeah, Drake May was throwing the ball like he was pooping his pants. I really thought he was locked into when they were showing him at the start. I really thought I was kind of getting nervous, man. I had my bet placed. I was like, wow, the Patriots look pretty good. And then I saw them hike that first ball, and I went, never mind. Yeah, O-line. I mean, their whole offensive team did bad. They had no yards, no ball possession. Like, one of the things that I saw from a Patriots fan was like, he was like, there's some solace or like some, I guess, closure in knowing that we got outclassed, is what he said, right? When you have a close game in the Super Bowl, it feels really bad because it's like, damn, we were right there. But like, they got dogged, right? Like, they did not deserve to win. And that was like shown clearly. Like, there were no bad calls. It was just they played like shit.
The commentators for each are as follows. CBS's A-Team of Jim Nantz and Tony Romo, Fox's Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady, NBC's Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth, and ABC/ESPN's Monday Night Football hosts Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. This year, we will get an extra dose of Tirico and Collinsworth, as it's NBC's Super Bowl to host.
Sean Mannion is here.
To make the broadcast happen, the hosts need cameras, and a lot of them. In last year's Super Bowl, Fox used well over 100.
Bro, the fan. Did they show like fan clips with you guys on the TV version? Like, not in person. Were they panning to the fans a bunch? They have like 100 cameras at all times. 3 rows down from me, they gave a kid a sign and kept a camera on him for 30 minutes. And he's just holding the sign, watching the game, waiting for it to cut to him. Never cut to him. And I saw the same shit, like, sprinkled around the crowd. Like, every section, they had a camera guy, like, panning between... They were showing a kid that was a Patriots fan and a kid that was a Seahawks fan. Kid that was a Patriots fan, kid that was a Seahawks fan. Never showed either of them on the screen. Like, they deadass... Like, you would think that they have, like, 4 guys that are just, like, kind of running around the stadium just showcasing a few people. No, they have, like, somebody every section. They have somebody all over the stadium, and they're only showing, like, 5% of the people they have cameras on.
100 cameras. And Sony added...
Why were they recording them? They were waiting for what they were doing was waiting for something to happen, right? And because nothing happened, they never showed him. Because I think the kid had a Patriots uniform on. And so every time the ball went to the Patriots, they put the camera on the kid with the Patriots uniform. And they were waiting for the Patriots to score. And then I think they were going to pan to him. But they never scored. They were just never scoring. At least when he was there. So they just left. And so he just stood there.
An additional 250. 6,000 plus credentialed media members are at the Super Bowl. And while not all of them are operating cameras or microphones, many of them are.
They're going to take a look at that.
They are the unsung heroes of the production.
That fat ass camera. That's what it was. But I don't know. I don't think it was Fox. It was that big. There was guys with like shoulder cameras just walking around the stadium. That's what was really different. Like when I've gone to other football games, they have those guys, but not near. They had so many people.
They capture all of the important moments we see throughout the game and everything that fans tune in for, outside of those just watching for the halftime show and commercials. Speaking of which, another major draw to the Super Bowl are the commercials, which for many people are more entertaining than the Super Bowl itself. Throughout the duration of the broadcast, anywhere from 80 to 90 commercials are aired. 50 to 60 companies run these commercials, and while recent estimates aren't available, it was reported that 56 different companies ran commercials in 2022. Last year, Anheuser-Busch had the most run time, with over 3 minutes. That was 30 seconds more than what they had spent.
Yeah, 3 minutes too. That probably, in 2022, that still probably cost a shitload. I think this year it was what, like, how much was a second? I think it's $300K a second. It gets more expensive every year. An average of $8 million for a 30-second spot. 2025, some spots sold for over $10 million. So it depends on the spot. I'm assuming certain parts of the game are more valuable. And it's harder, too, for companies, and you never think about it, but they have to market towards how drunk people are getting. Because, like, the average Super Bowl viewer, not only is the Super Bowl encompassing people that are, like, 4 years old to, like, 100, but it's also, like, the average viewer is hammered. So you have to, like, somehow captivate their view and also assume when you want to have your... Do you want your ad shown when they're more sober or more drunk? You know, are they going to be paying attention? Or are they going to be, you know, kind of tapping out? You know? Because near the end of the game, people are really locked in if it's close, but you also have to guess if it's not a close game, people might actually just turn it off. There's so many, like, things involved.
In 2024.
That's why they try to make them funny. It's why they try to make them funny. You gotta have it short, sweet, to the point, and you're done. Right? Every time, dude, and I just this year's marketing was towards like older millennials because they were just like panning the nostalgia. I was watching a whole video on the ads because I couldn't see the ads myself because I was at the game, and I just always like knowing like what they're trying to market. What I'll say, Pepsi ad was good. Michelob Ultra ad was good. The Dunkin' commercial, vomit, throw up. It panned, or it did well for, like, the age demographic they were going towards, but it was literally just like, hey, remember us? I'm CGI'd, so I don't look old as shit. Remember me? Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, and I saw the Svedka commercial. I mean, fire whoever. Yo, you put $8 million for a 30-second ad and you fucking chat GPT the whole fucking thing? Are you kidding me? It was dog shit. I saw that, and dude, I ended up going on Svedka's account before, and they were marketing that for weeks before. I gotta show you all the ad. Wow, that's bad. Also, editor, bleep that if this becomes a video. But wow, that's bad. And then he drinks it, and it, like, goes down, like, his, like, robot torso.
Spend in mind, what do Super Bowl...
Like, you can promote AI as a useful thing and a useful product, but, like, no one likes watching AI commercials. People don't like AI content. You can't do that anymore. It was cool when it started, and like companies in like early AI days could do an AI commercial. People would be like, oh, this is actually kind of cool, right? This is like AI generated. Now it's like lazy slop.
Commercials cost. Last year, it was between $7 and $8 million for 30 seconds. That doesn't include the cost of shooting the commercial, producing the commercial, and, where applicable, paying the celebrities that are in the commercials. However, considering that there was an average live viewership of 127.7 million people last year.
Well, that's a problem the NFL's also having is the NFL's losing a younger audience. And that's what they're trying to recaptivate. I think they're actually doing a pretty good job at it. That's why the NFL actually had their own ad during the Super Bowl, if you saw that. Because younger Gen X Gen Z and younger Gen Z people don't watch like regular in-season games nearly as much as like millennials did when they were our age.
That level of investment somehow seems justified. The other major draw for at-home viewers and those in attendance is the halftime show. The first step is selecting a performer, a delicate and well thought out process. The first and most important factor is popularity. The person must resonate with over 100 million viewers. The next consideration is cross-generational recognition. People ages 5 to 90 years old watch the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah, you need to have, there's always like a pullback. I feel like Bad Bunny is actually like one of the newer people they've used. Like Kendrick Lamar last year, Usher the year before, who was before that? Like those two, like Kendrick obviously still makes music, but like Kendrick is known even to like people in their 40s because he was making music in the early 2000s. Yeah, then Rihanna. Like I think the best, I don't want to say Bad Bunny was a bad pick because he wasn't. I thought he did a great job and he's obviously one of the most popular people. And I think they also picked Bad Bunny very intelligently to try and pull in general or generic viewers, right? Like Bad Bunny being the halftime Super Bowl performer probably roped in an audience that normally wouldn't watch the Super Bowl. And then also people that know him because it's like his audience is also just very worldwide. I'm surprised, though, that they picked somebody so new because like old people don't know who Bad Bunny is, which is probably part of the reason they were complaining outside of them just being like, he speaks Spanish. I speak Spanish, right? Like people just complaining about that for some fucking reason. Like you don't listen to Spanish songs, right? Like everybody listens to fucking foreign music time and time again. Anyways. Kendrick blew up in the 2010s, though? Yeah, but even then, somebody blowing up in the 2010s is going to be known by people in their 50s. No, we don't. I think most people do. I think that's just you. I mean, maybe it is just me. I think I have a more diverse music listening taste, but I think that is a little crazy if you don't listen to any foreign music. None. Like, that's, like, you're missing. I don't want to say, like, obviously it's your life. Like, you're missing out. Right? Like, I'm letting you know. It doesn't matter if you don't understand what they're saying. You can still enjoy foreign music. I don't. Yes, you did. And here's an example that broke everything Gangnam Style, you stupid fuck. Because you listened to Gangnam Style, and I know you did. You were probably 5 when you heard it, or maybe you're older and you were 15, 20, who knows. Everybody and their fucking mother listened to Gangnam Style. And that was a fucking foreign song. So to say that you've never listened, Despacito, bitch, you listened to that 3 summers ago. And I know you did. I know you fucking turned that shit up if you heard it on the radio. You heard Despacito. And you went, that shit's heat. Now it's, turn that bitch off because that shit's overplayed as fuck and it sounds like ass now. Despacito's terrible. I would never want to listen to that song now. 3 years ago, though, fire. And guess what? 6 years from now, Despacito's going to be heat again because it's the 10-year effect. 2026 back to 2016. Music that sucks 2 years ago is fire now that was good 10 years ago. So when you hear fucking you go, Panda. You hear Panda, Panda, Panda. And you go, maybe that song wasn't that bad. 3 months from now, it's going to be ass again, right? But there's a good span. It's like that Minecraft week phase, but it's longer span. I'm really rambling. The edible's kicking in. Sorry.
The person performing should be recognized by the large majority. And, of course, if the person is internationally recognized, that is a huge plus as well. After sifting through dozens of options, a performer is selected 3 to 6 months in advance. Then
like, who would be another really good Super Bowl performer? Somebody with worldwide, The Weeknd. But didn't he already do the Super Bowl? When was that? 2021? 2021 he did. I don't know. Pitbull would be really good worldwide and just also known. And that's what I'm saying. Nobody would complain if Pitbull did the Super Bowl, bro. I'm not gonna try and rant right now. Who would be another one? I mean, like, if you're going rock, you could do, like, Radiohead. Like, I feel like people would all know Radiohead. Or Creed. Radiohead, Creed. If you're going, like, vibe shit, who would also be good? Rihanna. I mean, I feel like they use everybody that's really good. Britney Spears. I could so see Britney Spears in, like, a year.
The performance is...
Even country you could do. The problem is, like, country Super Bowl shows are boring. Because you can't really do, like, most people are going to go with, like, hip-hop, rap, pop. Because it's always going to captivate a larger audience. Like, I'm not saying country music's bad. It's not. It's just, like, a country performance is going to be a lot less TV pizzazz than, like, a hip-hop show would be. You know, it's just going to be some guy with a guitar just... And I wanted to go down. Like, it's going to be good, but it's not, like, a show. It's just a good song.
No different than a regular halftime performance.
Like, halftime shows now feel like music videos. 10 years ago, it was just a concert, right? But now, like, a halftime show, that's what I'm saying. It's like TV shit, bro. Like, it's all like, hey, we need this to be a big thing that people talk about.
Still has tight time constraints, and the show typically runs about 13 minutes. An additional 10 to 20 minutes is needed for teardown, and then we're back to the action.
Yo, and they ran those motherfuckers out, though, dude. Right when halftime was called, it was dead ass 15 seconds, and I heard a guy, because it was like quiet. Some guy was like, go, go, go. And they all started running, all the Bush people that were like literally, you thought they were just props, but they were people wearing Bush outfits. Fucking, dude, you saw them, and in unison, they all ran in a line, like, just sprinting, full speed. All got lined up. Then they had to fucking assemble that house or whatever. They disassembled that house in like 30 seconds. Like, right when it ended, they just got everything off. That was the coolest part of the halftime show. Watching them haul ass to set up a movie set, film live for fucking 12 minutes, and then put it back down.
Beyond the timing, the cost, however, is where things get really crazy. The shows can cost anywhere from $10 to $20 million to produce, and we have seen a ton of great performers. This year's performer is Bad Bunny, but icons like Michael Jackson, Prince, Madonna, and recently Taylor Swift, who set the record for most costume changes last year with 7, have at one point graced the stage. The wild thing about selecting a performer is almost no one gets selected twice as a headliner. Only Gloria Estefan, Beyonce, and Justin Timberlake have headlined multiple times. It's an exclusive club.
Be a Justin Timberlake halftime show. That motherfucker just gonna be holding the mic up to everybody. You see him do that shit? Dude, the amount of artists, the amount of, like, white guys in their 30s that, like, sing, and whenever they do a concert now, they just get the audience to sing the whole thing. I'm like, yo, we paid to see you sing it. Hey, if I wanted a listening party, I'd just get in a room with, 10 of my friends. Like, what are we doing? I sing the song. Or like rappers too. When rappers do that, like, I get you doing it for like a popular line, but like, I mean, maybe once or twice.
Twice as a headliner, and a true testament of a performer's popularity. The game and the halftime show are obviously the major draws of the Super Bowl for those in attendance, but the Super Bowl is a one-of-a-kind experience. And how much does it cost? The cheapest seat last year on resale markets just before the Super Bowl started was anywhere between $2,200.
That's what it was this year. I saw a TikTok of a guy, he got one for like $2,205. The average cost of a ticket this year, I'm not sure about average, but like a normal section, like non-nosebleeds, was about like $5K.
And $2,600.
Like day of. Weeks before, maybe like $8K.
The average resale ticket price last year was $8,076. Tickets for first row in the 50-yard line, upwards of...
That's not that bad. Oh, no, it's extremely overpriced. It's extremely overpriced. It's because resellers know they can get that value, right? It's like the average person that's getting those tickets isn't reselling them for, like, they didn't get those tickets for that amount. The NFL's not making the money on that. Like, they're not the resellers. The NFL is not making the money on the ticket sales. Like, the NFL's not getting the $8K. Josh, with 3 kids, that's reselling his tickets, is getting the $8K, right? It's like somebody that's reselling the ticket.
$56,000. Insane prices. But they are nothing in comparison to the suites. The tiers are normally as follows. Upper bowl run around $2,500. Lower bowl can run between $4,000 to $10,000. Club level tickets are between $8,000 to $15,000 and offer super unique experiences. 50-yard line and sideline tickets range between $5 and $20K. And
yeah, anything directly behind an end zone is going to be a lot cheaper than I think corner views actually might be the cheapest. Most people want to buy seats on the sides here, and then you have club level. Then people do like being in the end zones to support their team on, one of the halves. And then just nosebleeds nobody wants.
The Super Bowl suites are crazy. Super Bowl suites last year ranged between $750,000 and $2.5.
Well, and a lot of the Super Bowl suites they're not getting bought by individuals a lot of the time. Like, you might have a Super Bowl suite that's just owned by, Morgan & Morgan. Like, a bank or a brand or a company is going to reserve this for $2.5 million and invite investors and invite famous people and invite things like that. So a lot of the people that are in these suites aren't actually paying to be there. They're getting bought by a company or a brand that's then sending, 30 people to be in this suite.
Million.
Like, I'm pretty sure, Speed and Mr. Beast were in the same suite or some shit. I wasn't in a suite. I was in the stands. Section 231.
That is one expensive game. Of course, there are a lot of perks that come with it. At least we'd hope so, for the price.
Suite seats are definitely the best way to view the game, in my opinion. I think outside of being on the field, I think being on the field is a better fan experience. But the best spot to watch a game is the suites. You have your own fucking chat. It's the all-encompassing aspect. It's not just the view. The view, I think, is one of the best. You have your own fucking bathroom. That's everything. Not only do you have better seats, like more comfy seats, you have probably a fucking open bar. You have your own fucking bathroom.
The suites include anywhere from 15 to 50 seats, depending on the size. They also come with buffets of gourmet food prepared by expert chefs, multiple flat screen TVs, service staff.
TV shit's stupid, dude. If you're watching watch the fucking game. Why are you watching on the TV? Only spot, you know where they need to put the TVs? The fucking bathrooms. I think the problem with that, though, is then people would stay in the bathroom and not miss shit, and then that would cause, clutter. Only spot where I was watching the game on the TV was when I was in line to get a drink. Yeah, two Bud Light seltzers. Tap my card. Yeah, thanks, boss.
Many packages offer meet and greets with players, field access before the game, and exclusive parties only for suite holders. Is that worth the price of admission? Speaking of money, gambling during the Super Bowl is huge. Last year, it was estimated that 1.3...
Chad, I'm not going to lie. I may have lost some of the winnings that I won betting on the game on DraftKings, last night.
$9 billion.
May have bet on an Olympic thing randomly that lost, and then I kind of tried to win it back playing Hold'em poker.
Was gambled on the Super Bowl. According to the
$1.39 billion was gambled on the Super Bowl?
According to the American Gaming Association. Other estimates indicate that overall gambling was a lot larger, totaling over $6 billion. Who placed the largest bet? And how much did they place? Mattress Mac, who you may have heard of, still holds the record for...
I think... Okay. There was an old man that looked just like him who got Fan of the Year this year. Ed Callan. Oh, no, it's not him. Ed Callan was on my plane. Or Ed Callahan. Oh, he was the Eagles Fan of the Year. Yeah, this guy and the Eagles player was on my flight home. He sat right behind me. What a guy. Not Mattress Mac. I was going to say Mattress Mac is worth about $10 billion. Some bullshit.
For the largest bet, when he waged $5 million on the Cincinnati Bengals to win Super Bowl 56, breaking the previous record of $4.9 million set in 2002. That bet is still a drop in the bucket compared to the $1.39 billion that was gambled. So
There's definitely a higher bet than $5 million. I think $5 million on record. There's guaranteed been people that have put like 50 mil on a game. For sure.
What are all these people gambling on?
No, there isn't. Yeah, there is, bro. I feel like there's got to be. Bro, you're telling me some billionaire's never been like, y'all put 50 mil on this. Because it's just throwing money out, bro. Who cares?
The winner, of course.
Like at that point, like you're worth fucking $10 billion. You'd be like, yeah, 50 mil.
But more importantly, the prop bets. And believe me, there are a ton of crazy prop bets. Obviously,
coin flip. Gatorade color. Will there be a quarterback to score a touchdown? Is there going to be a scoregami? What else? Is there going to be a streaker? That's only on certain things.
You can bet on players' yards, touchdown scorers, and others. But the Super
Those are the random bets. Yeah, but you could regularly do just same game parlay.
Bowl offers a unique menu. The most famous are the over-under for national anthem.
Ooh, I was saying that. I think Charlie Puth did a short one this year.
Anthem length, the color of Gatorade poured on the winning coach, and the result of the coin toss. But some sports books get really creative. Props offered on some sportsbooks in the past have included crazy things like whether or not a player will propose after the game, whether or not an octopus, a touchdown and 2-point conversion by the same player will happen, if there will be a power outage, this happened during Super Bowl 47, if there will be a wardrobe malfunction, also happened before, and a host of others. The craziest prop bet that actually hit was whether or not there would be a streaker during the Super Bowl, although this one was removed for hilarious reasons. In 2021, a fan placed a $50,000.
Yo, this video was made before the Super Bowl, and then the same guy did it this year.
Bet that
the odds were only like plus 300.
Would be a streaker during the Super Bowl at plus 750. So, what did he know? Well, apparently a lot. The fan then...
That's not the same guy.
...attended the Super Bowl and made sure his bet hit in the most hilarious way possible. He was in line for $374,000 payday, but the sportsbooks obviously found out he gamed the system and...
Yes, it is. That is not the guy that Super Bowl streaked this year.
...avoided the bet. Wild. Once the
it is? He lost weight? Dude, he looks so much different.
Game is over and a champion has been crowned. The bets have been cashed. The cleanup...
If that's him, that looks like an entirely different person.
...begin. This may seem like a long drawn-out process, but the host city and stadium normally has a ton of help. Within the first couple of hours, most of the trash inside of the stadium is actually removed and thrown away. After all of the fans have left, the deep clean begins. This is completed by stadium staff and special workers hired just for Super Bowl cleanup. Deep cleaning is completed over the next 6 to 12 hours. The workers power wash floors.
Oh, that wasn't him. It was, Alex G did it most recently before.
Clean bathrooms, remove field markings, logos, and NFL markings, amongst a litany of other things. By the next morning, almost everything inside the stadium is cleaned up. But the trash and mess left behind outside the stadium is the real problem, and takes much longer. Over the next 2 to 3 days, volunteers help tear down and pick up all of
people just throwing out trash on the side.
The fan events and trash that are left over from the massive event. All told, it takes roughly 72 hours to clean up after the Super Bowl, which, if you consider the sheer size of the event, is actually quite impressive. From there, audits on spending and reviewing of finances begin. These take quite a bit of time, but they are really the only thing left to do after the cleanup has been finished.
All right, I don't care about any of that.
And Super Bowls.
20 of the most watched Super Bowls. 23, 24, 25 in a row. And then it was just bouncing around, though, after that. That's kind of weird. Why was 2018 so low? Who played in 2018? Wasn't it the Eagles? That was the year the Eagles won. Why was that so low? Why was that a low? Dude, that was a great Super Bowl. Well, I mean, I thought it was a great Super Bowl. Anyways, I have to piss, and then we're going to watch the next video. I convinced a stranger to rob a bank. Tap in. Chat. Bro, this is like when chatters recommend SML videos, bro. Like, I'm starting to, I'm not trying to, I'm fine for the cinematography of it, but why are we like full panning into this? Like, I'm convincing him there's a camera attached to the windshield. Oh my God, let it play. How am I supposed to let it play? Chat, I know it's fake, but it's like they're acting like it's not. What fucking... Dude, if you're walking up to a fucking armored car that's supposed to be transporting money and they see your ass get on top of your car and try to put a tracker under it, they're gonna fucking kill you. They explain it? No, you're telling me that he thinks this is real. Truly, he thinks this is real.
Oh. As close as you can, Adam.
Okay. I'm to be too hesitant. I can't get into this for 30 minutes for me knowing this is fake the entire time, and then randomly when they actually get to the bank, they like unveil it and they're like, surprise! And he's gonna fake going, what? What? What do you mean? It's not fake. Bro, is this guy a dumbass? This has to be the dumbest guy of all time. If this is not fake, this guy's a jerk off, right? This guy has an IQ of 40. Like, there's no way that dude, we have a GTA heist board up. We have red wires with thumbtacks of like PNGs of police cars on the wall. What is that plan? Like, what are we getting out of that? Well, it's just like a waste. I'd be like, wow, this looks like a totally legit fucking thing. This looks like straight out of a fucking cop show. Oh, Joe, they explain it, obviously. Oh, it's just full proof now. Oh, this camera. Dude, I would be like, number one, prove you're an FBI. You flashing a badge to me is not me believing that you're an FBI agent. I get approached outside of a fucking Wendy's and you walk up to me and go, your friend Mac's gonna rob a bank. I'm a part of the FBI. Name's Sergeant Robinson. You gotta believe me. I'd go, you just showed me a fucking paper badge and a wallet. Give me like more than that, you know? Let's go down to the headquarters. I don't know, the local station. Have a cop fact check your ass.
Would be able to go in.
Robbery's like, dude, I never understand when people rob like almost all places. I think the only thing that does make sense to rob is like a central bank. Because if you rob a store, like, you know, when you see, dude, it's like every week somebody robs like a liquor store. I'm like, bro, you're getting what? $400 maybe? Crypto? Well, that's like more hacking than anything. But like, yeah, motherfuckers rob a pawn shop. Ugh. What are you getting out of that? Maybe the gold in the back or some shit? Jewelry store? That makes sense. Yeah. You know, you rob a jewelry store, you rob places with like valuable items. Or even like, dude, people that rob local banks, how much money does a local bank have in actual spendable cash? 40K tops? Like, most banks have no money. Like, I'm not saying like 50K is no money, but 50K to rob a bank is nothing. Yeah, or ATMs. You see those CCTV footage of 3 guys in fucking balaclavas or pull up to the front of a 7-Eleven and rip an ATM out of the fucking ground. What's in there? $4,000? Like, what are we fucking getting out of that? Now you're going to load it onto your car. It weighs like 1,000 pounds and you're going to drive it away? Like, I don't understand. Like, no planning. It's just like, oh yeah, let's just hook a cable up to it and rip it. What is the robbery? What are we blowing up for this robbery to go? Well, we're gonna have to blow up a school bus first, just to test, see whether or not our guns are working.
Just all the stuff we've been.
That was the car. Bro, but they didn't blow up the car like that. They set the car on fire.
Talking about, just like kind of keep it down on the down low. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got you. Kind of
the DL, the down low. Don't talk about it.
Like me and you type stuff. You know what I mean? For sure.
Dude, I can't wait too. If I made this into a YouTube video, all the comments would be like, Joe's such a loser, man. This guy literally just tries to disprove everything. Like, literally just get into the immersion. I can't when the entire premise of the video is that this guy actually believes that he's robbing, not that he's robbing a bank. He actually believes he's working for the FBI. Like, this is fully staged. I can't get into it. It's not like I'm watching like a Minecraft ARG like hypothetical video. Like, this is like something that's like pretending to be real, but it's like movie-esque. It's real. Yep. These puppets are actually conscious and they speak. Ventriloquists actually just know how to manipulate objects in reality. They're not actually just miming or anything. Or using their voices to, you know, fucking talk for the puppet. It just actually speaks.
You've been doing pretty good.
Like in Goosebumps.
And we're really close to getting him behind bars.
I really think I could talk him out.
Dark magic. You know what I will say? Okay, I don't believe in, like, magic and shit, but you know when, like, modern day witches have, what's that shit called? Where it's like a baggie of stuff. Not a voodoo doll. It's like a baggie of stuff. It's not a curse, or a spell. What is it? And you, like, put it on something. A mojo bag? I don't know. A hex bag? That shit freaks me out. Not meth. What do you mean meth? What? Hex bag. I don't know. Whenever I see that shit, I'm like, I wouldn't fuck with that person. You know what I mean?
Out of it.
Like, if somebody's like, I'm going to put a curse on you. In my head, I'd go, nah, bullshit. But in the back of my head, I'd go, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. That's not good. If he says you two need to go down on another guy, you just got to do it. It's a part of the game, man. Okay? You don't understand. This is serious shit. You see my badge? I'm a part of the FBI. If Mac tells you that you guys got to go into a strip club and things get a little hairy and you end up getting, you know, there's only a guy and a girl, you end up getting the other guy. You just got to go down on him, man. That's just how it works, you know? Bro, you're so fucking with me, man. Yo, if one of my friends actually was like, there's a fucking bank vault in New Mexico that I want to rob, I'd go, hey, hate that you just told me that. Number one, because now I don't want to be a part of it. And you made me an accomplice. Now I have knowledge. See, that's what it's like. If your friends, I'm not going to support my friend committing a crime. But if you're going to commit a crime and I can't talk you out of it, just don't tell me. Don't involve me. Please. Please. Like, if you're going to rob a bank and you're like, I'm going to tell Joe, and I'm not going to be able to talk you out of it, don't tell me. Just do it. You know, at that point. I'm not saying rob the bank, but, like, now you're just roping me in on it. Like, that's horrible.
I know he's your friend, but
we have to
just gonna pretend I don't know them. Yeah, I just got amnesia. I don't know who you are.
stay on the mission.
Is it somebody talking to your earpiece? No. Hey, this is gonna be really, like, hyper niche that I'm talking about this, chat. If you were counting from 5 to 1, I would go like this: 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. He went. Like, you would do the second way. You would go each one. Which would you do? You would end on your pinky. You would do pinky first. Oh, I wouldn't do pinky first. I would still rather do this though, but I wouldn't end on my thumb. I would do this. Either way, I end. It's 3, 2, 1. Isn't it weird how you can move each of your fingers individually, but your middle and ring finger are, like, attached. Like, you can't move, like, one. You can't really move one without moving the other one.
Give it a day or two.
Bro, I'm stashing, like, fucking at least 10 of these gold bars in random locations.
I gotta make a call real quick.
Because aren't there, like, robbers that have gotten arrested, but the money was never recovered? And it's like, they spend 20 years in jail, but then they leave, and they still just, like, keep the money, effectively.
Yeah, quick call. Call my mom real quick.
Because I mean, not like dirty money, like they just have like straight cash, but like they clean it in some other way, like jeweler thieves.
You gonna call your mom?
Or jewelry thieves.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna see her again.
I mean, you're gonna see her again. You're not like you're gonna say goodbye to your mom forever. You just can't live in the United States.
Can't come back to the country, man. I'm not gonna really be able to talk.
Dude, we just can't live in the United States. Me and you, dude. We're gonna be bunk buddies. Where do you want to go? We got a few options. North Korea, the island under Sri Lanka with the natives. What's the name of it? North Sentinelese. We could move there. Maybe give them the gold brick. They'd maybe potentially let us in. We could defect to Russia and become like some sort of agent for them, you know. Or yeah, maybe like somebody said Israel. No, Israel you couldn't do. You would have to move somewhere that doesn't like the U.S.
Again, after this?
Just fly it out.
Dude, I already booked 2 tickets to Tel Aviv. We leave tomorrow. I mean, But he said sociopath Joe. I don't think you know what the word sociopath means. You're a party pooper? Oh, sorry, Hawk27654. I survived a plane crash. What? Like, you can't really stage that. I mean, they might have some way where it crashes, but it's like a safe crash. Bro got the experience without the consequences. This felt like a movie. Casually dropped a Netflix scale prank. Type of shit that happens on April 1st. $5,000 to pay his mental hospital bills. The prank's on all of us. All of them are actors. People really believe this shit. I saw the cameras on the car, and I'm like, there's no way he wouldn't question why would you put cameras on the fucking car. Remember the comments, that guy is an old friend. Obviously, I will not watch such a shit video. People really believe that an old friend who probably is a YouTuber would be like, yeah, sure, if it's not for YouTube, right? I mean, that's the take I had. And I understand that's like a party pooper take, but it's just like, I liked the video, but it kind of fucks with the immersion where it's like, just start out the video being like, this is a movie. Rather than like trying to say that it's real and then have like actual smooth brains think that it's real the whole time, right? Even after the disclaimer says that it's fake. But because they didn't read the disclaimer, because they don't read, they just think that it's real. Like, and they will move on with there is like a subsect of people, like 13 million views. There's like 15,000 people that fully believe this happened. Like, and will live the rest of their lives thinking that this happened. But I mean, like, even if he did in the beginning say this is fake, I think there would still be people that are like, no, it's real. No, it's real. It happened. It did happen.